Hello and welcome back to Everyday Writers, your one-stop shop for demystifying the writing process. We're here to be helpful guides on your journey to becoming a published author. I'm one of your hosts, Crystal McQueen.
And I'm your other host, Jordan S. Keller. Thank you for joining us on this episode. Today, we're discussing social media and how to use it to attract your ideal audience. In today's world, simply writing a book isn't enough, so you need to market it, and social media is a great way to build your readership.
But not all media is the same,
Yeah.
right? So gone are the days where people would find books in the newspaper. Right now, it's all social media. And there's different social media sites. The primary ones are things like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Goodreads, LinkedIn, and your genre will affect your audience on each of these different platforms. You want to make sure that you're targeting the right social media for your audience, for your type of work. So, for example, if you're writing nonfiction or memoir, LinkedIn's going to be a lot better than something like Instagram and TikTok for something like romantasy or science fiction. Just as an example. Another big trend right now is book talk, which tends to appeal to a younger audience. But there's a lot of different accounts on book talk that will recommend books, and it's definitely a great way to get your work out there. Another thing is the different styles of posting, right? So TikTok is very much a short form video, whereas if you're promoting your work on YouTube, such as, us having this podcast, that's a much longer form of video. But even then, when you're posting on YouTube, the shorts actually drive most of your business. So people want to watch a short clip that will drive them to look at your longer video. Facebook is going to be a lot better for pictures and different kinds of wordy descriptions versus Instagram is going to be a lot better for a carousel of pictures or reels. So sorry, I have hair in my mouth. So Jordan, why don't you talk about the social medias that you chose and why you chose them?
Yeah, so I have Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, but primarily I use TikTok and Instagram because of the style that I write is young adult fiction. It's got that romance element for the romantasy style, and Facebook is mainly used for my family. Like it's how the people I know in the real world keep up with me, versus Instagram and TikTok, where I grow more organically with readers. And I'll cross promote both on TikTok and Instagram because of the reel slash TikTok videos are basically the same content. But you'll notice that a reel that does really well on TikTok might flop on Instagram and vice versa.
Hmm.
I mean, it's all because like TikTok's a lot more like flashier and more like face, like you're talking into your camera essentially, versus Instagram where it's a lot more like artsy and more like nature wide shots and stuff. So you want to, even though both TikTok and Instagram Reels have the same like 7-second video format, what they want differs between the two of them.
Yeah. Well, you have different audience on different ones, right? So like I've seen that Facebook is kind of like everybody has one, at least from my generation. And
Yeah.
actually I think we're in the same generation. But anyway, everybody has one, but we don't really go on it.
No.
Whereas like I don't want to give an age, but slightly older than us and above generally use something like Facebook, whereas Instagram is more of that like millennial-esque
Mhm.
haven, whereas book talk TikTok
TikTok.
is a younger generation. But
Mhm.
I will say that YouTube, which is not a great standalone promoting tool, it does appeal to all ages. So
Yeah.
that's something that you'll notice.
And it never hurts to have more than one social media, but just be aware that sometimes one post on one might do better than the other and vice versa. So less, or it's good to have more than one, but just be aware that sometimes they might not all act the same. But speaking of posting things, don't get the expectation that you'll make a single post and sell 100 copy of your books. None of the social medias will work that way. You need to engage with your audience. You need to engage with your followers. You're selling yourself as a writer more than your book. So be prepared to put in that bit of work. Every morning, I like spending about 10 minutes to interact on my social medias, liking, commenting, sharing other books and writers and readers stuff that I enjoy. And then also trying to make meaningful connections with people. I've met so many people through Book Talk, Instagram, Bookstagram, just being myself and being very enthusiastic about what they're doing, and then vice versa with them. There isn't a fast and easy approach to this. As you get started, you're going to see a lot of posts that are like, we'll get you 1,000 followers in a night, just pay $95. And those are, I'm just 100%, they're all scam. There is no fad diet to growing your content, to growing your followers. You're going to have to be able to put in the work. And then, aside from interacting with other writers, you want to be interacting with your ideal readers. My superhero romance was super easy. I could interact with romance readers and superhero comic book lovers. So, those avenues really opened up my ideal readerships by being able to comment on someone who drew comics, like, oh my gosh, I love her superhero outfit. And that would just spark conversations. It would spark friendships. It would spark connections, real connections with people versus AI bots, which, if you do pay the $19.99 for those 1,000 followers, is basically what you'll get is just robots following you.
And that's the point, right? Is that you don't want just numbers following you. That doesn't mean anything. You actually want your audience to want to read your book, to support your book, to put reviews on your book. And
Yeah.
just having numbers on the page doesn't mean that you're actually connecting with your audience.
Mm-mm.
But a couple other little tips, because Jordan was talking about interacting, is, and I know this sounds cheesy, but and save your own posts.
Yeah.
That will help the algorithm show your post to more people. If somebody comments on one of your posts, you want to and respond to it immediately. It's going to show engagement. It's also going to boost the visibility of your post. So just making sure that you're you're responding to your social media as soon as you can, which I know everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants to unplug. So 10 minutes a day, like Jordan said, or if you go on there and notice you have a comment, making sure that you're liking and responding. Sometimes they're hard to respond to. Sometimes somebody like puts a smiley face with like heart eyes, and you're like,
How to, so
thank you.
yeah, when you're engaging with other people, leave good comments. Like, it's so easy to put like, oh, congratulations on good news, but
Yeah.
that you want to stand out too with your comments. And someone recently told me, before you go to post something for whatever you're posting, make sure that you've done all the liking and commenting and replying right before the post, because for some reason it'll show your new post to the people you just interacted with quicker. I have done zero research on this. It's just something someone told me recently.
That's
um
very interesting. Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Because, okay, so that goes into Jordan's comment. We actually will talk about how often to post and things like that,
Mhm.
but you want to make sure that you're giving your post time to actually get to
Breathe.
your audience. Yeah,
Mhm.
breathe. Oh, that's a great way to say it. So there's different things you can post, right? So social media, I will be the first to tell you, is exhausting. I do not like doing it. But I do have some consistent themes that I post. So book content is a really good one. Cover reveals, quotes from your book. Jordan, I think you read your first line
Yeah.
on one of your posts. So just making sure that you are giving content, but don't have that overwhelm your viewers, right? You don't want to
Mhm.
just post about your book. You will annoy people. They'll either unfollow you or block you.
Yeah.
Writing content, right? You're a writer. So talk about your experience, whether you're overcoming writing block, coming back to it. Some people, will post on a daily basis for accountability, how many words they've
Mhm.
written, a B-roll of you writing. So, I don't know, a couple of months ago, we did a writing retreat and you can see
Mhm.
all of us writing. I posted that. And then this is something that an agent actually just recently told me at the conference I went to a couple weeks ago, which is make sure that you have personal content that people can connect to on there. So for me, it's writing, it's books, it's pets. Of course, everybody's seen my cats, right?
I love your cats. I've never seen these cats in real life. I want our listeners to know. I don't even know if they exist, but they're only on her social medias.
I borrow my neighbor's cats to take social media. But just making sure that you're giving people posts to interact with, right? And it needs to be personal because nobody wants to see your book 30 times, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, another thing that you can do, and this is the last thing I'll say on this is steal
Yeah.
content.
For
Um,
once, it's okay to be a thief.
Yesterday I posted on my story because there was this guy, I think he's a teacher, but he was talking about how millennials have just been destroyed by literature, and you've got all these safe books out here. He's like, I need some Where the Red Fern Grows, and like I sobbed through that book. Like that was my
Yeah.
fourth grade. Oh my gosh, Dan and little Anne, like,
Mm.
and so like you can take other people's work and be like, I really relate to the trauma of millennial childhood books. Bridge to
Mhm.
Terabithia, Shiloh, Old Yeller,
Ugh.
Where the
They're
Red
always
Fern
dog
Grows.
related.
I know, stop killing the dog.
Spoiler alert for these 50-year-old bucks.
Oh my gosh. Shiloh the dog didn't die.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Uh,
So anyway.
Other things you can steal are trends, trending audio, trending the TikTok dance craze. I just saw someone post like patiently waiting for my ideal readers to follow me, and it was they had substitute ideal with their reader, so patiently waiting for romance readers to find me, and like I copied and pasted, like I filmed a video of me typing and basically waiting for cyberpunk readers to find me, and it blew up, it took off, it was great. So as you're growing your follower count by following authors that you respect and writers that you enjoy contacting with or connecting with, sorry, you can see what's working with them on their social medias and then implement that on your own.
Yeah. Sorry.
Um, oh no,
Sorry.
I was gonna. Uh,
I'm still in red where the red fern grows, right? Like I'm still remembering the tragedy of that book.
in sixth grade, we had to watch the movie, and this is my first experience with it, and I'm sobbing, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Jordan, what's wrong?" Like, what do you mean, what's wrong? Are we not watching the same movie?
My fifth grade teacher read it out loud to us, like during the when we still got naps.
Yeah.
And I watched the whole thing. And when she got to the end, I am like sobbing, crying. There's all these sleeping kids around me, and I'm just sobbing, crying, because little Anne is like starving herself to death. And it's just like,
Oh,
anyway, sorry.
so a fun thing you can do for making your content, there's a website called Canva, Canva.com. It is
Love
super,
Canva.
yeah, there's a free and a paid version. Honestly, you can do everything you need with the free version. It's got templates for all of your social media size postings, drag and drop, like pre-made things that you can drag and drop your content into, make it from scratch. There's got photo editing software. If you do the paid version, you can create one post and it'll resize it to match all of the different sizes for different social medias. It Get Canva. It again, free versions, all you need. I thought there was a little learning curve to it, but if you just take an afternoon, play with it, it's super easy to understand. And again, the drag and drop tool is super useful when you're first creating and finding what works for you. And they also have a
And
great,
the
oh,
longer you use it, the
yeah,
easier it gets.
yeah, and
Sorry.
it'll save your brand content. So it's again, we're marketing ourselves, so it's very important to have a brand style, and each of my books has a different one, but the a consistent font, color palette,
Hmm.
style of stuff, and it'll keep all that data saved for you, so it makes the marketing a lot easier. Because I don't think any of us who are writers have marketing degrees, and I feel like maybe if you get a writing degree, get a minor in marketing. But we're going to link a Google Drive link in the bottom of this episode, and it's going to have a bunch of links to our social medias of different posts we made. They're really easy to remake to fit your style of a book genre. It'll be the lead up to Failing Gravity's release. So different types of cover reveals, the reading the first line, character bios, Pinterest mood boards. So feel free to copy and recreate what we've created because we're all here to
Um,
help each other.
And so another thing that you can also do, and what I do with Canva, is every Thursday I post a book and a cat. Shocker, I have a cat in it. Um,
Allegedly.
but what I did was I took videos of all of these books that I really, really liked, and put them all together in Canva so that when I do my weekly post of a book recommendation, all I'm doing is writing the review. The video's all already put together,
Mhm.
and you can schedule posts in advance.
Yeah.
So most of the posts that I have are scheduled well in advance. Like for Instagram, I think you can only schedule them out 30 days, but
Mhm.
still, like I had surgery. And so I scheduled 2 weeks worth of social media while I was down. When I went out of town, I scheduled social media. So sometimes, having stuff in your queue in Canva, which I love Canva,
Mhm.
or even in your social media can help with some of the burden of not just sitting down every single day and doing social media.
Yeah. And be cautious not to fall down the rabbit hole of like, okay, I've got my half hour writing block. I need to make a post. Let me spend 25 minutes making this post. And it just, time management, it just be careful I have fallen down that rabbit hole way too many times.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, and especially if you're stuck, it's so much easier to be like, "Oh, I'm just going to schedule all my
yeah.
social media." But that's so lastly, we're going to talk about how often you should post. You'll see all the time these advertisements that say posting every day is not a social media strategy. Those are usually the ones that are trying to get you to pay for them to get people to subscribe
Yeah.
to you. You do not need to post every single day, but consistency is key. So post every 3 days, post every 2 days, post at least 3 times a week. Because if you are dormant for more than 5 days, suddenly your content is going to be less and less visible to your followers, and they're definitely not going to get organic growth because, I mean, Instagram and social media, they're a business. They want consistent posters, and so they're
Mhm.
going to promote people that post all the time versus people who do so sporadically. And you just make a schedule for yourself and stick with it. It's difficult, and I will be the first to say that social media is a pain to do, but it is definitely worth it in the end, especially if you can connect with other writers. We've done interviews with people
Yeah.
who we've connected with on social media, Jenna Beal. Jenna Beal Mueller,
Mhm.
and Nick Gerard. So interviews that we've done, those aren't necessarily people that we had met beforehand. We actually did have breakfast with Jenna
Yeah.
uh, after we had met her via
Now
social
that's a
media.
book title.
Oh yeah, huh.
Yeah, Breakfast with Jenna.
So anyway, just making sure that you are connecting with your audience. You're not overwhelming them just with your books. It's really key to make sure that you're spacing them out as well. Do not post 3 or 4 times a day. Not only are you going to get less people to see your stuff, but people are going to get tired of
Yeah.
your stuff. So, yeah, I think I think that was everything that oh, no, no, no. We have more stuff.
We have more. We do have more. Um,
Stay tuned. There's more.
Another good way to attract your audience and to build your audience is through your author website and an author newsletter. Both Crystal and I sat down together to make our author websites through Wix. There's GoDaddy, there's Wix. You can make it on Canva now. There's a lot of great free options for website builders, and then you can
WordPress.
WordPress. That's the other one. Thank
Yep.
you. And then you can buy your domain later because I know when we first made ours, neither of us were published, and it felt silly to pay a monthly domain fee without being published yet. And so just to have a landing pad for you as a free website, and then start paying for it later if you want to after you get publish credits on you. Um,
Explain the domain, I think, because not
oh,
everybody knows what that
okay.
is.
Yeah. So my author website is jordanskeller.com. That is my paid domain. So it's a monthly fee to keep that domain for me. The free version was wix.com/jordanskeller, author.com/wix free website. So the URL just looks a lot more clunky. There is no difference on the websites. It was just easier to put on a business card without the wixfreedomain.com. Um,
Yeah.
and so your author landing pad should have bio about you, information about your books, a way to contact you. I've started putting media appearances on my website just to hopefully get more media appearances. And then you can also do newsletters through there or through MailChimp. I know Wix does a
Mhm.
newsletter and so does WordPress. And your newsletter, again, like your posting, you shouldn't be bogging down your subscribers' email with weekly, daily newsletters.
Yeah.
I do a monthly one myself. Another good author friend of mine does a bi-monthly one. And things you can include in it is writing updates, writing tips, writing prompts, personal information about you that you're comfortable sharing, such as like book recommendations, what you're reading, what you're watching. I'll always include a picture of my pet. You can include bonus content for your book. If you sign up for mine, you get the first chapter of Wildfire for free. So that's just an incentive to get people to sign up for it. And you can also just do a newsletter to send when you have something big to announce, like a book signing or a book release. So don't feel boxed in. If you have a newsletter, you have to stick with a schedule. And then just like with social media, is sign up for your favorite authors' newsletters and see what they're doing, see what you like, see what you think works. It's always a learning experience. So never be afraid to learn and get your toes wet into something new.
Yeah. I set up a newsletter with Jordan at the same time,
Oh
and I
yeah.
think I've sent two. I don't have as many updates, and so I
Mm,
don't have as much content to put in it. But again, like, nobody's I shouldn't say nobody. A newsletter is something that should be a surprise in the inbox. It shouldn't be something that's irritating that you immediately want to delete.
Mhm.
Um, or, and again, I'm guilty of this, somebody to see it and go, when did I sign up for that?
Yeah, yeah. So that's with this whole spamming thing. Like you don't want to send a newsletter every day and not have the letter be um like useful to them in some way. So that's why I started including a writing prompt in mine. So
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
so, well, that's all the time that we have for this episode of Everyday Writers. Thank you so much for letting us be part of your writing journey. And just remember, social media takes a lot of work, but you need to put in the effort.
You're marketing yourself, not just your book. So be comfortable with putting yourself out there.
And following trends is an easy way to keep your content up.
Join us next time as we're going to be discussing writing contests and other places you can submit your work. If you love what you hear on Everyday Writers, please hit that subscribe button down below and put in the comments your social media handles so we can follow you.
Oh, yes,
Just
please.
yeah, and then subscribe to Crystal and I on Instagram to see what we're doing and steal all of our great ideas.
And don't forget, every day is a good day to write.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.